Howdy, how's it going? Welcome back, or howdy if you're new. If you have a Nintendo Switch or a Nintendo Switch OLED, it's by no surprise when I tell you that the stock Joy-Cons on these are just not that great. They're not comfortable, they're riddled with issues such as Joy-Con drift, sticky buttons, and more. I'm going to show you how you can transform your Switch from looking like this to looking like this in one simple step. Now, of course, if joystick drift is the only issue, you definitely could buy a set of these replacement joysticks and swap them out, but it's a little bit of a tedious process. In this video above here, I'll show you exactly how tedious, and a lot of people are probably just not willing to do that, and they would much rather just buy a replacement set. And when you buy a replacement set of the factory Nintendo ones, they're gonna still have those same issues with drift eventually, and they're just not that comfortable, and they lack a lot of features that these things have. These have solved every issue and every complaint that I have had with the Nintendo Switch. And adding these actually made me 10 times happier that I didn't buy into the Switch 2 hype. These are the HandHeldDIY J6 Nintendo Switch controllers. They are drop-in replacements, which means you could actually pick up a Nintendo Switch used on eBay for $100 or less sometimes, and you could just buy these separately, so you end up saving some money and you get the best of both worlds. So these right here are actually not that expensive. I'll drop below the links if you want to use my coupon code CPPCTech. It'll save you money and it'll help me earn a small commission at the same time, which is greatly appreciated, but not expected. All right, now let's take a look at what you get inside of the box. First off is the owner's manual. Be sure you read over that because it'll give you instructions on how to program all the buttons, how to change the RGB, how to change the vibration settings, and even how to get into the app to change even more. It's going to come well packaged with some nice little foam. And this travel case right here is absolutely awesome. It is a nice freebie, and it also will keep the joysticks protected. So if you're going to throw this in your backpack or a bag, it'll keep those joysticks from getting any type of damage. And for full transparency, HandHeldDIY did send these over to the channel to keep, but as always, no money exchanged hands for this review. So let me show you how easy these things actually install, and I'll show you the rest of the features. So right here on the back, you can see you've got your programmable back paddle buttons. You can actually use these to program macros or even remap other buttons to be on the back. Now these are so easy to install. They're going to go on exactly like your factory joysticks. You slide them in the rails just like that, click them into place, and now you're ready to go. They feel absolutely amazing. They've got so much more grip added here, so it is no longer like you're holding a flat piece of paper. Now, I have never been a fan of the grips on the Nintendo Switch. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm one of those people that just absolutely hated it. The other difference, you've got bigger and better ABXY buttons. These are actually clicky, just like over here, and they feel and sound amazing. They're very fast, they're very rapid. You've got a full range of motion joystick, just like I told you. You've also got another little party trick here where you can take off that faceplate, you can paint it, you can wrap it. You might even be able to find some replacements for these. I'm just not sure yet, but that is a possibility for the future. So they're held on with little magnets. They fit amazing. The triggers here, by the way, having that full trigger makes it to where if you are a larger hand person or a smaller hand person, it will still fit you. So I've got pretty medium-sized hands, and I can just gently rest my finger here, and it extends a little bit past that. But if I had smaller hands, it would fit about like that. So the grip is absolutely perfect. Now you've also got a turbo mode button. So if you want to press something rapidly on a fighting game and get past that boss you're stuck on, you can press that turbo button and it will keep continually pressing one of the buttons that you set. You've got a turbo button on each side for that. Now over on the back, you've got your RGB buttons, and then you've got your eject buttons just like normal. Now the RGB buttons are pretty cool. You can go in here and change the lighting. You can also turn it off if you want. You can also hook this thing up to the app and change even more stuff. So the app is actually pretty cool. I don't have a video of that yet. That will be coming. I'm going to do some future testing with these and some long-term testing. So if you want to stay tuned for that, I'll definitely be telling you more about these and my overall long-term experience with them, because it's got me excited to play my Switch again completely. This thing had been sitting for the better part of a year, and I just have not picked it up a single time. So now that I had these, I have been playing it a whole lot more, and it has actually made me want to buy some games again and maybe try some other stuff that I haven't played before. Now, of course, another feature you still have in here is a 6-axis gyroscope. So if you're going to play a game that uses the gyro, you're still going to have that functionality. You've got everything that you would have on the stock ones inside of here, except more. Everything has been upgraded and transformed. So this is one of those situations where I can confidently call something a game changer. Now, I know a lot of people overuse that term and it's watered down and kind of lost its meaning, but I really try to stay reserved when I call something that, because it has to actually transform the way that I feel and think about a device. And that definitely is a situation here. So previously with the Switch, I just never really liked playing it for very long. You know, when I first bought it, I bought it over the hype and it died down so quick because of the joysticks. The joysticks with the limited range of motion is probably the biggest turnoff for me. And second is the grip itself. It just was never comfortable. So playing it for extended periods of time just wasn't my thing. I couldn't do it. But now I'm actually 10 times happier. I didn't buy the Nintendo Switch 2. I didn't buy the hype, and I still have my Switch. So if you want to pick up a really inexpensive handheld, if you don't already have a Switch, this would be now my #1 recommendation for a budget handheld under 200 bucks. Because if you really want to be savvy, go on eBay, pick up a used one, just do your due diligence and check the feedback, of course. But you could pick up one of these for 80 to 100 bucks and then buy a pair of these Joycons for, right now at the time of filming this, 69 bucks on sale. Now, normally they're going to be 100 bucks. I'm sure they're giving a little early promo for these, but even at 100 bucks, these feel like the most ultimate premium tier set of joysticks that I've ever felt from a detachable handheld. So if you've ever felt any other type of detachable Joy-Cons, whether it be 1X Player or the Legion Go or the Switch or anything, you'll know that they all kind of have a certain type of feel about them, but these just blow me away. Like I cannot really grasp it into better words than I'm just blown away. And I really hope that we can see manufacturers make more design choices like this with better grip, the full range of motion on the joysticks, and then definitely the micro switches, the larger triggers, and of course the RGB lighting is super cool. So you don't have to have the latest and greatest handhelds. Now I know a lot of the pricing lately with newer handhelds has turned a lot of people off to handheld gaming, and they may have fallen off and they just have lost some of the initial excitement. But this is one of those situations where you can invest a small amount of money and you could get excited again, and you could rediscover what handheld gaming is about and kind of transform it into a totally new experience. Now, if I had to pick one thing that I would change about this, it would probably be the color. Now, I know white pretty much goes with everything out there, especially with the transparent faceplate. You could make this blend in with anything, but there's going to be some people who probably want black or some different colors, and I hope that maybe we'll get to see some different color faceplates at least. Now, even if they don't make some, these could be easily 3D printable, so maybe I could find somebody in the community who can make us a scan and upload it to MakerWorld or something. So if you guys want to see something like that, drop it in the comments. But overall, this does get my full CPPC tech stamp of approval. All right, once again, huge shout out to HandHeldDIY for sending these over for review. And this is definitely the biggest game changer for the Nintendo Switch. It's made me excited to play my Switch again, and it's made me even happier that I didn't buy the Nintendo Switch 2. If you want to pick up a set of these for yourself, please consider using my code and link below. It will save you some money, and it will also help the channel out, earn a small commission at the same time. So it's a win-win for both of us. And if you guys pick up a set, please let me know what you think about them below. And until the next one, I hope you guys, as always, have a good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Oh, and before you forget, definitely drop a comment, leave a like, and if you could, subscribe. That'll help me out a ton.